Alright everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video with Fat Phil, and today I need to talk about the Galactic Legend Leia requirements. We just got set 2 for GL Space Buns, and there's some really important things we need to talk about. We're going to kind of pair them up against the current farming guide, things you can do just to think about GL Space Buns, and kind of comparing her to Jabba, which what I would say is, as of right now, looking like the most comparable in terms of requirements so far. So, before we get into that, let's give a huge shout out to my channel members. Thank you guys so much for your continued support of this channel. If you guys want to join channel memberships, there's a link in the video description down below. Otherwise, make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, let me know your thoughts. I love hearing from you guys in the YouTube comments. Even if I don't always get to respond, I do try to read as many of the comments as I can. So, let's go to the game here and let's pop open the journey guide. So, we got Galactic Legends Leia, right? We got Space Buns. So the first set of requirements was Captain Rex, Nisa, Wicket, Admiral Akbar, and Lando. So overall, nothing, I wouldn't say anything crazy here, nothing that surprised us. Then in the set 2, we got Scout Trooper, which was their, Scout Trooper's kit was just announced yesterday. We got R2-D2 to Relic 8. Again, that's not a bad requirement because he's a Relic 7 requirement for Jedi Master Luke as it is. So if you don't have Jedi Master Luke, boom, you're getting one done. If you already do, okay, well, you've just a little bit more. Same thing here with Captain Han and Rebel Officer Leia Organa. Both of them are Relic 3 requirements for Jedi Knight Luke. So if you've gotten Jedi Knight Luke because you're working on Jabba, you've already got 2 of these characters already at that point. And Lando, who's also a Jedi Master Luke requirement. And then the last one being Chief Chirpa 2 Relic 3. So now you're going to have 3 Ewoks, 2 Relic 3s, and a Relic 7. Which again, guess what? You need Ewoks to get C-3PO, who is also a requirement for Jabba, Jedi Master Luke, Jedi Knight Luke, and General Skywalker. So, win-win situation all around as far as requirements go. I don't think any of these are characters that I'm looking at and like, man, what the heck? I was really afraid that they wouldn't require Chief Chirpa to relics. Having 3 Relic Ewoks is already fantastic, right? Those are 3 Ewoks. That's it. That's a team for 3v3. And if we get any more Ewoks, that's a 5v5 team. But I really, really appreciate, I'm going to give Capital Games a lot of credit here. They could have really just left it at Nisa and Wicket and not gone anywhere. The fact they're making us Relic Chirpa this is really good. This is a really good, for what it could be, guys. Chief Chirpa, Wicket, and Nisa, as far as the Ewoks goes, fantastic. Rex and Scout Trooper are kind of the 2 that stick out to me right now that don't really fit in with the rest of these because Scout Trooper is going to go with your Iden Versio and obviously the new Moff Gideon whenever he gets here. And then Captain Rex goes with the Phoenix Squadron, who none of the rest of them are really relic at that point, unless you have Profundity where you have a Relic Hera. So, again, I'm just, making argument that overall the requirements seem to be very, very, I don't want to say light, because it's 3 Relic 7s, a Relic 8, 2 Relic 5s, and 3 Relic 5s, 3 Relic 3s, and then 3 Relic 7s and a Relic 8. So, overall, it could be a lot worse. And I think it's very comparable to what Jabba's requirements were, where, we had some Relic 5s, right? So you had Kersantin, Skiff Lando, and Coors Light Leia at Relic 5. You had 2 Relic 6s in Aura Singh and Greedo. Gamorrean Guard, Jawa, and Mob Enforcer to Relic 3. Boba Fett, Fennec, and Jedi Knight Luke at Relic 7. Han at Relic 8. And then where is he at? Hold on, I know he's in here. To Relic 4. And then finally, we needed the Outrider. So, set 3 for Leia. I'd expect a ship. I just don't know what ship it could be. The only one I think that would make sense, not in terms of her, but sense for what Capital Games has done in the past, my gut would say the Raven's Claw, Kyle Katarn's ship. I think that is the one ship that, in my mind, sort of sticks out. I don't want to say like a sore thumb, but this one kind of sticks out to me that it's one that could probably be required for Leia because it really doesn't have a home right now. And I think for the vast majority of players, this is not something that they have at 7-star. So I'd be on the lookout for something like that as far as ships go. Because otherwise, I can't see them having a ship as part of her requirements. And every other ship, every other character in the game, every other GL requires at least some form of a ship. So, so far so good. I think these requirements are very, very doable. But there's a big thing to note here. A lot of players are like, man, this kind of crushes the Jabba, my Jabba the Hutt farm and all that stuff, and it kind of does. But keep something in mind here. Your solo journey, if you guys are following the FatPhil approved farming guide, I tell you go get Executor first, right? You need Executor because that's your crystals. That's the way that you're going to be able to jumpstart into one of these other farms. And when you go and you look at the squads that I told you, right? Imperial Troopers, who guess what? You need Imperial Troopers on the Endor thing, so that's awesome. Right, we're going to get Commander Luke, all this stuff. But then we're kind of moving up. You get Executor. Well, you need Darth Vader at Relic 7 for Executor, so we're good to go there. Now, this is where I would probably skip the Old Republic because they're no longer like this was to build for the raid. This could change. And again, we'll probably update the farming guide a little bit, but nothing crazy here. But look at what we're building now. Rebel Officer Leia Organa, your Wampa, we're getting into that Jedi Knight Luke farm, and Murder Bears. So with the Ewoks, my recommendation would be Chirpa, Wicket, and then I would throw in Nisa in here somewhere. Princess Nisa needs to be in here somewhere because you're going to need her for Galactic Legends Leia, so you may as well farm her, gear her up now. Then you're going to build the whole Commander Luke Skywalker team. Again, I just don't see why you can't get this team. Now, they don't necessarily all need to be relic levels, if that's not something you're interested in, but at least get them to really, really good, like Gear 12, because it's a fantastic team. So you will need Commander Luke Skywalker and Chewbacca and C-3PO for the Jedi Knight Luke event. So Han and Chewie kind of sitting out here like, or 3PO and Chewie kind of sitting there like, we don't know what, maybe you take them to Gear 12. Maybe you get them to Relic levels because they are that good. And then you finish off the rest of the Jedi Knight Luke Rex, which happen to be Lando, Rebel Officer Leia Organa, and Captain Han, who you need for GL Space Buns, along with Darth Vader, who you should already have, and then you get Jedi Knight Luke. So the reason I still think that getting to Jedi Knight Luke and then deciding to pivot is your best bet is because a lot of these things that you're building, you look through this Jedi Knight Luke thing, and the only stuff that doesn't transfer over to Leia would be Wampa, Hermit Yoda, who Wampa's an amazing character. Hermit Yoda's still good with a lot of Jedi, and Chewbacca. Chewbacca's the only other one that doesn't transfer. So I just think that it makes a lot more sense to do a couple of really solid relics, get a Commander Luke Skywalker team, who Chewbacca and Han you're able to use in this new raid. You've now, like, if you're going for Jedi Knight Luke, which, remember, I said this is the first thing you do before you work on going to anything with Jabba, get Jedi Knight Luke because he's a fantastic character. I think this is going to set you up really nicely for Galactic Legends Leia because if we just go to, where's the Journey Guide tab at? Here we go. Because you go to this Journey Guide, you see that these characters are kind of all going to mesh together and build into Galactic Legends Space Buns. And honestly, I can't fault Capital Games for any of these things. So far, I love all these Rex. I mean, even like Nisa and Captain Rex. I mean, I've wanted Captain Rex for a while. Nisa, we knew it was going to be Ewoks. And I want to give a huge shout out to my buddy Mahirlo. So I was really, really nervous that the Leia requirements would be just ridiculous. That, like, expecting a lot of Relic 9s and 8s, that they were going to go the Lord Vader route. And he said, he's like, nah, they don't put the screws to you on Galactic Legends with Relic levels anymore. They're going to put the screws to you with these new characters, and that's 100% what they're doing. We got 3 new characters, going to be Kyrotech intensive, but overall, I think for the vast majority of the player base, these requirements are very player-friendly because they're helping you towards multiple things. That every single one of these characters right here, the only 2 that don't really mesh right now are Rex and Scout Trooper, which of all the characters that you could have to farm, those 2 are at least decent, and Scout Trooper, who is going to be needed in the raid, but also slots into multiple Imperial Trooper teams, so that's a win-win. So Rex is the only one right now who's just kind of like, we don't really know where he fits in, and if that's the case, if it's a player of a character of Rex's caliber is the only one so far that you're like, what the heck? This is amazing. Like, this is truly amazing. So I'm actually really excited for these requirements. I think that they could be so much worse. Now, we still have 5 more to go, right? There's still more requirements to go. We don't know what they could be, but I have a feeling that it's going to be that right now she's kind of panning out similar to Jabba the Hutt. So, yeah, guys, I wouldn't panic about farming guides right now. what I've been telling a lot of players is get Jedi Knight Luke and then pivot from there, because Jedi Knight Luke allows you to pivot to Jedi Master Luke, Jabba, and or Galactic Legends Leia now because of some of the characters you're building up. And because he's needed for this new raid, I think he's something that all players should be going for. And frankly, the requirements to get him are not hard. Right? It really is not hard to get Jedi Knight Luke. It's a couple of Relic 3s across the board, and it's very doable with Relic 3s. So I think it's setting you up really, really nicely there. But that's the video, guys. I wanted to get ahead of, these new requirements, kind of give you my thoughts on them. And honestly, I will be going for Leia. And I could take R2-D2 to Relic 8. I could take Rolo and Captain Han to Relic 5 today. I could probably Relic 1 or 2 of these characters. But I'm not... You guys know that that's not something I do. I don't go in and just start doing stuff until I'm, committed and ready to take on this farm, because I still have got a lot of stuff to do with Captain Rex and Nisa. So we're going to start trying to plan ahead, figure out where we are resource-wise, and then hopefully put us in a position to really do well here. So as you guys can see, I did start farming Captain Rex. We're going to start building those shards. I don't think we'll be doing any refreshes yet, because what I'll do, I'll start worrying about refreshes as I'm getting closer everywhere else, because I just don't think I'm in a position where I still need a lot of, we don't know what the rest of the stuff is. I still need a lot of relic materials, gear. So I think what we'll start doing is getting refreshing as I'm closer to that point where that's going to become a possibility. But that's it, guys. Let me know your thoughts. As always, smash that subscribe button, leave your likes, leave your comments, and I'll see you all in the next video. Cheers.